fact that One Piece is, however,
I'm gonna go
old
back.
and
So for those of you who are going to watch this as a piece of my content, this is about this is from Shonen Oji? Ouiji, I think Oji and Ouiji. And Shonen Ouiji, and he's gonna talk about the new phase of Jump. I think he's talking about Undead on the Unlock. So um let's see what he's gonna say about this. It'll be interesting. I try to listen to all different types of viewpoints and then get my opinion on that thing, but you know, it is what it is.
there's a new face of Shonen Jump, and it isn't JJK. Right now, there's a bit of a lull in weekly Shonen Jump. The hype for One Piece isn't nearly what it used to be. My Hero's been hit or miss. And Black Clover, well, it's Black Clover. These were the top stories for a while, so to have them all in a state of meh-ness has sort of affected the overall reading experience. Add the fact that One Piece is however old, and MHA and Black Clover are like at least 7 years old, and it just feels like we need something new.
I think we gotta stop disrespecting Black Clover like that, man. Black Clover, I know it's kind of a relic of its time. Like it's kind of like doing what the old heads used to do, and I don't think you new kids are used to that. Like me and people who are my age, we're used to the like ongoing type shonen, unlike these seasonal type shonens. But like Jesus, like we gotta stop making fun of Black Clover. Black Clover is a pretty good show. Yeah, it's kind of generic in some places, and it's kind of like a little bit predictable in some places and stuff. But it is a proficient show. It's not, you won't get bored. Well, probably some storylines are a little boring than others, but like it's not boring.
Show.
Yeah, it's not a bad show. I don't think it's a bad show. You know, it what it does, it takes the ideas of what its predecessors has been like
Says yeah.
it's a mix of like My Hero, Fairy Tail, and Naruto, right? That's literally what it is. It's like My Hero, Fairy Tail, and Naruto. I don't think I'm missing anything else. I think that's it. And then the art styles have this gothic like look. Like I think it's really unique. It's a very unique art style. It's very distinct. And I like how distinct it is. You can tell who drew it. Like I'm saying, like, and Asta, I guess some people can make some distinctions that Asta is like kind of like Naruto in certain ways, but I feel like they're kind of different. Yes, they're loud. Yes, they have the headband. Blah blah blah. I get that, but like, other than that, that's as far as it goes. I believe Asta it can separate himself from Naruto, like Kid Naruto, or even slightly older Naruto, because like he genuinely gets scared at stuff, and he gives his opinions and stuff, and you know he's very mindful. Naruto was not. He was pretty stupid. He was like very lacking self-awareness, or whatever the case may be. So like it's in most cases, or sometimes the only time Naruto only gained awareness of himself is when he couldn't do something and he had no choice but to face it, right? But like someone like Asta will outright tell you, I don't think I can do that, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. That's a difference. Naruto, I'm gonna knock you out because I think I can. Asta, I'm gonna try knock you out because I believe I can, but just because I believe doesn't mean it's true. But I'm gonna try. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's the difference. One's doubtful and very honest. The other one is just dumb.
One would think that JJK or even Chainsaw Man would be the easy choice for the new face of Shonen Jump.
I don't
but
think
when
so.
I asked people what they think the best,
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I think of top three or like the new top whatever in art and in anime, I don't think Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is cool, but it's not like JK like Jujutsu Kaisen or like One Piece or like Hunter x Hunter. It's just a show that has good visuals. I wouldn't say much of a story given the anime I'm talking about. I have not read the manga, but like it has interesting characters, an interesting somewhat premise, not too crazy, not too off-putting, but the powers are pretty different on how they're presented, but that's as far as it goes. It's like I'm not gonna lie, Chainsaw Man is like a discounted JJK. I know that's a hot take, but let's be honest here. Let's just be honest with ourselves. JKK, like Jujutsu Kaisen, like compared to, like if you have to pick the two, you would pick Jujutsu Kaisen compared to Chainsaw Man. Like if you stop and think about it, its opening song literally is lit, but its opening visuals.
I didn't even finish it.
Oh, you didn't finish it? Well, I know some people didn't finish it. They was like watching it and then they kind of got meh, and then they just stopped watching. I heard some people do that. Like they'll watch like the first 5 or 10 episodes and then meh, and didn't finish the whole thing. It's like I almost end up doing the same thing. It was kind of like a weird lucid dream.
Chainsaw Man was AL for me.
Let me see.
Says I'm caught up to both of them.
Okay. Because for me, it's weird to me. Like it's a weird thing because I'm thinking to myself like, when I look at JJK, I don't think of Chainsaw Man. But when I see Chainsaw Man, I just see JJK. Like the way I look at Denji like a curse. That's it. Is that weird? I think everyone thinks that, like in a subconscious way. Like when I look at Denji, I just think of him as a curse. Nothing more, nothing less. Just a glorified curse. Nothing close to like Sukuna or anything like that, but just like he's just a human who just got unfortunately cursed under a circumstance that he's half chainsaw now. Or a chainsaw curse, or whatever the hell, or devil, or what you want to refer to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think, like given the world building and all that stuff, I just don't think it's there. I don't think Chainsaw Man has that top 3, top 5, like, well, probably the top 10, top 20, but I don't think top 3. Hell no, nothing close. No.
Best thing in all of Jump is right now, whether it be Weekly Shonen Jump, Jump Plus, or its other magazines.
Or hybrids, yeah, hybrid devils.
Says I thought of it as Blue Exorcist.
Blue Exorcist? You're not wrong. It's like, okay, so like that's Yeah, when you put it that way, now I can't see it. Like a mix between JKK and Blue Exorcist is like what Chainsaw Man is, kind of.
Actually a bit of a split. Granted, there were a few honorable mentions like One Piece and Dawn to Dawn, but most of the replies were split between JJK and Undead Unluck. So it seems like these are the two series that fans are the most excited to read on Sundays. But are they really on equal terms, or is one of them actually better? Well, whether one is generally a better manga than the other is another discussion. But when you look at each manga right now, Undead Unluck is currently the best manga to be reading on a week-to-week basis. Which might sound odd at first considering JJK is the super serious manga, and Undead Unluck is pretty goofy looking, but they actually have a lot in common. They both have slow starts, they both have nuanced power systems, and naturally they both have great fights. Plus, while Undead Unluck might not be as edgy as JJK, it's probably the most exciting it's ever been. There's a few reasons why I personally think Undead Unluck is the best manga in Jump right now, but I'll share them.
I think it's art style and premise. Art style and just I wouldn't say world building compared to JJK, but I think it has that. You know what Undead Unluck reminds me of? It reminds me of if JJK and Soul Eater had a kid. Kind of like that, or it just reminds me of Soul Eater to a certain extent. I think that's what it is. It just kind of reminds me of Soul Eater to a certain extent. I think a lot of people probably made that realization to a certain extent. Not completely, but just overall how it's like presented, how it is. I get Soul Eater vibes, but without the Soul Eater.
Says and a bit of blood lad.
And Bloodlet. There you go. Bloodlet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bryce. This is why you're my fucking mod. Thank you. I made a great choice picking you.
those in just a few minutes. What it really boils down to is the simple fact that Undead Unluck is just really fun to read. It's great to see how Fuko has grown as a character. She and the other characters have this amazing chemistry that makes for hilarious yet emotional dynamics. And the fights have been back-to-back bangers. Now, of course, if I'm going to say Undead Unluck has great fights, I have to acknowledge JJK. Because JJK is a series that has literally been accused of having so many great fights that it's just back-to-back hype. Kind of a weird criticism, but
I would say that JKK has got a lot of great fights, but the one thing I've learned or taken away from those fights is that no one plays fair. Like, the one thing, and you know what? And you know why people are accepting of JJK? Because it's realistic that most of us will not fight one-on-one with a curse. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Final Q diga humongosorio hasta la muerte.
Speak English, please. I really appreciate it. But hello. Because I don't understand what you're saying. Sorry. Me no speak español. Sorry. I think that's Portuguese if I think of it now. They always jump in. Yeah, they're always jumping every episode. Like, it's always a 2-on-1 fight, a 3-on-1 fight.
Always jumping every episode.
Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy. Like, but it's realistic because let's be honest. If there was a giant monster, it was me and Bri and Soul, and there was a giant monster outside. We are not gonna wait one-on-one to fight said monster, especially if we are not guaranteed of a win of our lives. We're gonna be jumping this thing so fast. I'm dead serious. If we had overpowered powers right now, or like the only time you'll be okay if it was a one-on-one fight, if you're like if you're Gojo. Let's just call it for what it is. If you're Gojo, you're gonna be okay because you have your powers where people can't literally touch you. But when you're like Megami and like Itadori, best believe you're gonna be tag teaming some curses. I'm telling you right now. You're not gonna be like, nah, we're gonna do out of honor. Fuck that. We're gonna make sure we win this. I wanna go the fuck home. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it's gonna be. If I'm pretty sure, this is why a lot of people like JKK, because it's realistic in its fighting ideology, at least in its premise of how they fight. Not the fighting system, but how they approach fights is what makes it believable in the situation that you're watching in. Because majority of the time, you will not be fighting alone. No one's gonna say, I'm gonna handle this. This is not Dragon Ball Z where everyone's kind of the same. Like, think of it.
I remember how one of the characters just ran because they couldn't
win. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, look at. Let's be honest. Beat Chaozu. Think of yourself as Chaozu fighting someone like, I don't know, Android 17. You're not gonna win, right? So you're better off with the TN on your side, even though you're both not gonna win. You feel more safer when this TN is there. You know TN ain't gonna win, but at least for a chance, you feel like you have a option of a way out, right? Before you just retreat if you can, right? So this is why the idea.
Says hello and cool drawing and you cool.
Thank you so much, Digimon. I appreciate it. Welcome back, bro, and thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. I appreciate it. Digimon, we're out here talking about anime stuff. So if you're into anime, I'm pretty sure because your name is Digimon. Like, if you're into anime stuff, we already done all the Clownfish stuff. So we're doing our hot takes on this, and this will be on YouTube. So if you want to be part of the conversation, these videos will be on YouTube. Like, yes, this is a live stream on YouTube, but I'll be segmenting them. So if you guys have hot takes and you want to hear the hot takes I'm making, or you want to give your opinion while I'm talking about this, it will be in the YouTube video, and it will have a thumbnail and everything. There's one right now about Westerners versus Easterners when it comes to like comic books and manga. That's out today if you want to go see it, but it's literally just a snippet from the stream. It's not like it's super edited or anything. I think this is a great way to get the stream, or at least get the channel being seen, instead of me making a tutorial that taken me 3 months to just make one video. This is easier, so I can make content and stream at the same time. So, I think it's a good idea. So, yeah, so like the idea of like everything being realistic to the point where we would we would jump a monster like that. We usually would if we can. If we know we can win by jumping one monster, then we will win, or at least we have a chance of surviving. But if we're gonna do that one-on-one shit, we're not doing that. I'm telling you, the way they approach fights is very American. It is a very American way of how they would literally approach a monster fight. I'm just being honest. Yeah, we do the one-on-one thing here in America too. I'm not saying we don't do that, but it's just saying if it was a legit monster like a dog, we would run up on that thing so fast.
That's the truth. And while that is true for the series as
Says,
a
"Can
whole,
I see
that doesn't
full
tell the
drawing?"
whole story for the
Yeah,
recent
one second.
chapters. Obviously, Gojo is still fighting Sukuna. Granted, it had an insane opening, but between
Oh, you know what? I'm not even gonna do this. Just to be clear, if anyone's not familiar with or if you don't want any spoilers, I will skip most of this. I don't want to, because he didn't put a spoiler disclaimer. So like, if you're reading or what, can I see the full? Yeah, if you're reading or the tail needs to be fixed. If you're reading these current manga, or you don't want to know what's going on in the manga or in the anime, you can jump out of here now. I'm going to at least be fair. This guy did not put a spoiler warning or anything. So if that's something that's important to you, you can jump the hell out of here. Me, I don't give a shit. I have to. I'm trying to make content, so it's up to y'all. So I'm giving you guys the option, and this goes to those who watch this video. I'm going to put a spoiler. I'm going to try put. I'm not. I can't because I can't. I can, but I'm too lazy. So I'm letting you guys on pause this. No, there is going to be spoilers in this, probably for JJK and other shows like Undead Unluck. And I'm pretty sure. So I think Bri finished the season, so I don't think he cares. But then again, I don't know if he's talking about future like manga stuff, so that might be a thing.
And constant string of gotcha moments
I
between the
don't
two
care
characters.
because they'll
This
forget
fight
it
isn't
all
that
anyway.
great on a weekly
Good
read.
enough.
It seems like something that will flow much better when you can just binge the whole thing. If anything, I see people talking more about why one character or the other is a fraud, and less about how much they like the actual fight. So when JJK's biggest appeal is fights, and the only fight going on right now is kind of in a weird spot,
How are you,
it puts
31?
into question whether JJK is really the best manga to follow and Jump right now. But like I said before, I can easily give you 3 reasons why Undead Unluck has been nothing but fun to read every single chapter. Now, before I explain what those are, make sure to like the video if you're enjoying it so far. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it helps spread the video to other viewers like you. Now, the first reason I look forward to Undead Unluck every week is because it's just fun. It's genuinely fun to read. And I know this sounds like a dumb answer, but think about how many times you forced yourself to enjoy something. Or you were into something so much that you actually forgot how to have fun with it. JJK is one of those series where you can definitely have fun, but it's easy to forget how. Especially now in a fight between 2 gods in a very technical fight where they just keep one-upping each other. It's definitely an exciting fight, but it's easy to get lost in the power scaling and all of the lengthy details. Undead Unluck also has a lot going on right now, but it also keeps the story simple and spontaneous. Without spoiling too much, this current part of the story starts with a time loop. Basically, our main character Fuka was sent back in time after the universe got a reset. So now she's got a big to-do list where she's rebuilding this big organization known as the Union and recruiting all of the other negators. This includes going to Russia and being attacked by a martial arts master, hopping into a Vietnam-era battle to steal a secret weapon, and boxing the heavyweight champion of the world. The boxing one sounds basic, but as a fighting fan, I loved this bit. It was crazy how this seemingly goofy fight quickly became one of the best in the entire series. Especially considering it's with a character that shows up for like 2 chapters in the beginning of the manga. Which brings me to my next point about why I love Undead Unluck right now. What this arc is particularly doing a great job of is rewarding readers. In other words, there is a ton of payoff for investing in these characters. And there's no better example of this than Void. Like I said, Void is a seemingly pointless character that only shows up for like 2 chapters. But then they bring him back and redeem him as one of the most badass characters. He gets a great new backstory in an intense fight that makes him one of the best characters in the story, when not long ago, he was one of its most forgettable characters. Turning to JJK, it definitely has payoff. We are seeing a lot of payoff for all of the build-up for Sukuna, but in terms of comparing it to Undead Unluck, it doesn't come close. All of the other characters are just standing around right now.
I'm pretty sure if you compare Undead Unluck to like Jujutsu Kaisen, it's just not the same. Like one is, like you said, one is fun and one is seriously fun. All right, one is like, okay, so if you have to make a comparison, Undead Unluck is like getting getting a Domino's pizza, or no, a Pizza Hut pizza, and then getting a pizza but getting Jujutsu Kaisen is getting like a deep dish pizza from a very expensive and famous Italian place. Both taste good, but one is just literally better than the other. But you're not disappointed with either of them. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? You're not disappointed with reading or even watching the anime of Undead Unluck, but you're just as not as, or you're more likely to enjoy probably Jujutsu Kaisen because of its over the topness and how it just literally how fights just goes. And how they put more effort into their fights. I want to say, look, there is more effort. Let's just call it for what it is. But like, I'm pretty sure if Undead Unluck had like just as much of a budget, or at least just as much as talent, they would probably pull up the same thing. Like if you had Studio Mappa working on Undead Unluck in the same art style, I'm pretty sure they will be pretty much at a certain sameness. Maybe not in world building, but definitely in animation.
It's just focused on Gojo and Sukuna, and all they're doing is fighting. And in that fighting, we still really haven't seen the true payoff yet. That's why this is one of the best things about Undead Unluck, because it takes the time to build its characters and present the best version of them to readers, so readers have a reason for every character to be their favorite character. This especially extends to Fuko, the third reason I love Undead Unluck so much. Prior to the time loop, Fuko was definitely a solid character, but after the time loop, she's forced to become the next leader of the Union, and she does this in a bunch of ways. First of all, she masters her unluck abilities, such as using an unluck gun whereby each bullet makes its target unlucky, potentially getting struck by meteors, and more. And of course she masters her abilities well enough to take on the heavyweight champion, as well as the best martial artist in the world. And she also brings the best out of each of the other characters. She wants to rebuild the Union, and she already knows what its potential is. But in rebuilding the Union, she actually manages to make it better than it was before, recruiting allies and villains from the previous loop, as well as characters like Void that never made it into the final parts of the previous arc. I know a lot of people are saying Fuko is a great female character, but I think she's just a great character in general.
There you go. There you go. That's all you need to make build a good character. She doesn't have to be a female character or a male character. Just make them a good character. That's all that matters. Their gender does not matter if their character actually is good. If their character is good, their gender does not matter. I mentioned this about Eva from One Piece. He is legitimately a LGBT character. But he's cool because he's not annoying. He's really cool. He's actually helpful to the Straw Hats. He knows Luffy's dad. You know what I'm saying? He helps Sanji get stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Right? He gives us context on what's going on in the show within the time of the arc that he is in. He doesn't give too much, or he doesn't give too little information. Just enough right information like any other character. That's all it is. Just write a good character, you're good. That's it. Nothing more. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Plain and simple. And when you look at a manga like JJK, yes, it is exciting to follow Sukuna and Gojo right now, but our supposed main character is just on the sidelines. I don't want to say too much more on that because I already explained it to death in a full video, but basically it's kind of weird that Yuji is literally on the sidelines. It just makes his presence in the manga kind of awkward right now. Meanwhile, Fuko is driving every part of the story and
But we gotta stop looking at. I think we gotta stop looking at Itadori as a main character. I think, in my honest opinion, Itadori is a vehicle. He is nothing more. He's a vehicle. He's not only just a vessel. He's not only hello Bean. He's not only just a vessel to Sukuna, but he's also a vehicle for us to know what the hell the story is going. He's not the main character. Let's just call it for what it is. He's the main character, but he's not the main character.
Has a side main.
Yeah, he's nothing. He's a vehicle.
High beam.
He plays his role.
I feel like the Shadow Kid is the main character.
Yes. Let's be honest, the main characters, Gojo, Megumi, and Sukuna. That's it.
Close.
Everyone else is kind of like either expendable or they're just there for plot to push the plot. Even Itadori, I do not see Itadori as I don't see Itadori as a literal main character like a Asuna, a Naruto, a Luffy, Undead Unlock. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see that. I just see him as he's just the character we're using to get the point A to point B. That's it. The main character is Megumi, Gojo, and Sukuna. The main villain, Sukuna. The two main characters are Megumi and Gojo. That's it. Nothing more.
Says I thought he was at one point, but that plot changed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Because I think what happened was, if this is what I'm assuming, this is not facts or anything, this is what I'm assuming, so those of you who rewatch this on the video, this is what I'm just assuming. I think what happened was, when the author of JJK wrote this, he realized that Gojo was way too interesting, and Megumi was way too interesting. Because remember, they both have a history together when Megumi was just a kid. Gojo's more Gojo's more entwined with Megumi than he is with Itadori. That's it. Because remember, they knew him from a kid. He fought his father, killed him. Like you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Itadori is literally just a vehicle for the audience. He is literally the vessel he is. Crying? Oh no, you guys are going with the Oh, you crying? I get it. Okay, that's Bean's thing. You crying? The thing is like, I think that's what it is, and I think the author kind of realized Gojo's too cool. Gojo is way too interesting, way too cool, way too overpowered. How can I underpower him to make Itadori at least likable, relatable, or at least somewhere that he's the main character? You can't do it because you just made Gojo way too interesting. Megumi's more interesting than fucking Itadori. Now, if you made Megumi probably the main character to a certain extent, then maybe people would be like, okay, I can see Megumi thing, and then Gojo's just like the teacher who's overpowered. That's it. No.
The clans makes it interesting, but the brain person is Itadori's mom. That's why he can take the curse.
Yeah, so like it is what it is, right? And the fact that Megumi pulled out that giant curse out of him in the fight with him and his father. What is his father? No, that blonde. I don't know what it is. That blonde-haired kid with the knife, with the hand knife. I forgot his name. With the tattoo on the side of his eye, who gets like he has like unlock powers too. Something about him comes off as very SpongeBob-ish. I don't know why. I just see like anime SpongeBob, who's just crazy. I don't know if anyone else get that same vibe. I just get SpongeBob vibes, and I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing every time I see that character.
Says Law. Says it how to spell his name.
I have no idea. So like, it's kind of like that, you know? So like, I don't see Itadori as a failed protagonist if he's supposed to be one.
Doesn't let you say anything.
No, it doesn't. Come to Twitch. Come to Twitch, guys. Come to Twitch. Come to Twitch. We'll get people back on TikTok. My leg is getting fucked. We'll bring people back on TikTok. It's just that right now, my focus is making content for YouTube. Right now, because I found out a way to make content on YouTube and do my streaming at the same time, without just depending on streaming, because that is a long that's a long win of stuff. So, come to the Twitch for now. We'll bring back TikTok again. We'll make TikTok great again. It's just that I have to put some things in place for TikTok to be great. I have some ideas that might work. I think I have some ideas to bring TikTok back to its former glory for my channel, because it's been dying. Not dying, but I have not made any real content in a while, so that's probably what's killing it. So we need to bring back more content. So we'll do that eventually, but not right now. But yeah, let's go.
She makes everything better. It's for that reason, and the payoff, and the pure fun of each chapter, that Undead Unluck is the best thing in Jump right now. JJK is hype, but sometimes it misses the small things that made it fun to read in the first place. Will this be forever? No, of course not. But at least right now, Undead Unluck is definitely the most fun manga to read in Jump. But maybe you disagree. How would you compare Undead Unluck and JJK right now? Which manga is currently the best in Weekly Shonen Jump? Share your thoughts and see what everyone else has to say down in the comments. I'll pick my favorite and share it as comment of the week on my community tab. And if you'd like another discussion like this one, then make sure to check out my previous video on Undead Unluck. In that video, I dive deeper into the manga and explain what I love about Undead Unluck as a whole. I had a lot of fun making that with my editor Townsy, and it's still one of my favorite videos to this day. To find it, just click on the playlist linked right here. Until then, thank you for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Nice. Good talk, good talk. This was an awesome talk. I like this. We should do more stuff like this. I'm gonna do this more often while I work. But so yeah, I think where it's at was that Jujutsu Kaisen's fun. It's good, but I don't think Itadori is the true. I think Itadori was supposed to be the main character, but because Sukuna and just everyone else is more interesting than he is. Like, even that whole like reveal about who Itadori is wasn't all that interesting. It was actually more confusing. I don't say confusing, it was just like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then you just move on. It was not like there was no high big interest on his relation between those curses that he was fighting. It was kind of like, okay, that's kind of weird. Strange enough, and not like we knew his backstory in the first place, so that's the closest thing to a backstory we're gonna get. And even if we knew his backstory, it's not that interesting compared to Gojo's. Bro was born a literal god. You can't top that, you know. And Mega, let's be honest. Let's just. I'm gonna be honest. Let's be honest. Most of you, let's be kind of honest. Yes, Megami is a cool character, and yes, he's more interesting than Itadori. But when you kind of stop about it, most girls probably like Itadori because they like his dad. Let's be honest. Hello. What's up, Paz? Hey, 31. Let's just be honest. Majority of girls like Megami because he's probably is attracted to them, or they just like his dad. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing